It's me up in New Zealand and welcome back to my channel. In this channel, I'm gonna share with you guys my experience living here as a former international student and now a worker, as well as give you guys some advice and tips of life here in New Zealand. So stay tuned for all my fun video. As a student, especially an international student, going to another country and live by yourself independently, it's gonna be quite a scary thing to think of, and there will be so many things to prepare. So I'm here to give you guys some advice on what useful thing you can prepare for your really important upcoming trips. One of the most important and necessary first step when preparing for your trip over abroad is buying an airplane ticket. And in the previous video, I have given you guys some useful advice on how to buy an airplane ticket efficiently and effectively. So check out that previous video that I have linked down below for you guys to click on. In this video, I'm going to give you guys some advice and recommendation on what to do to prepare yourself when study abroad, and specifically going here to New Zealand for study. The first tip is to get a driver license, specifically for driving car or at least driving some kind of motorbike. This is because New Zealand infrastructure for public transport is not as way advanced compared to other developed country, as the population is still low and is spread across the country, so the investment for public transport is not as much compared to other more populated country. So that's why I say it's not so advanced, and people still prefer to travel from places by cars instead of public transport, as it's much easier, and only when you live in a big city then more convenient to access anytime, compared to some taking public transport rely on the time, and sometimes the traffic can hold you up too. So yes, it's not as environmental friendly as recommending driving car by yourself, but the matter of fact is that some smaller city here, you have to get a car in order to make your life a little bit easier. Another reason when getting a driver license is necessary, because that can cut down the time of getting a full license, New Zealand license here, and depend on the country that you're from, you can either convert it straight ahead without taking any test to get a full New Zealand license, or you can just need to take 1 to 2 tests without a long waiting period of time. Compared to a traditional way of getting a full license here is from learner license. You get a learner license, you wait 6 months to get it restricted, and then another 12 months to get a full license. So the whole time of doing in a traditional way is a bit longer. So it will be easier for you if you already got some driver license from your home country. One helpful thing to know is that if you are planning to come over here to study and also take some part-time work, getting a driver license is also give you quite advantage when applying for some part-time role in specifically in service or food service, because a lot of employer or restaurant, they would prefer employee who has a driver license in order to travel from places, as well as easier to access the site or the workplace, compared to have to wait for buses or other public transport. So yes, if you do planning to get your work by study, I would definitely recommend you get your driver license. My second tips is to get a health check, more specifically a full body checkup as well as your dental checkup. I know that most of you, when you get your student visa, you might have to do a medical checkup anyway, but it will be more helpful if you can have a more in-depth checkup for your health, to understand more about your body as well as what to avoid in case of like allergy, as well as to understand what you might have to deal with in order to treat it while you're still in your country. This comes with a lot of benefit. The first benefit of getting a full medical checkup while you was in your country is cost, especially when you come from a low cost medical expenses country, because you can avoid a big health bill when you come here to New Zealand. And if because you have your family, your friend, anyone you know for a while still in your country, they can take care of you after you have your treatment of any kind. And even if you come from a country with expensive medical expenses, and it's still good for you to do some research about how much it costs in general for medical treatment here in New Zealand compared to your country, especially after your current health insurance that you might have with your country. More specifically, it's like the US. You can compare it. I believe there's something that will be cheaper, and it's worth for you to do a little bit research related to that, especially in your case that you might need to do that specific treatment. But full health checkup also include dental checkup as well, because dental treatment here can be quite expensive, and even if you have student insurance cover, which is quite compulsory here, they don't really cover for most dental treatment, specifically any treatment that's optional, and they only cover for like emergency dental treatment such as getting accident. But other than that, it will be really expensive. It can go up to $1,000 or even $2,000, and most dentists here even have credit card or Afterpay option, which show you that it's a very costly treatment. And I learned it the hard way when it comes to getting my wisdom tooth removed. That was back before COVID, and I was having one wisdom tooth that's kind of impact on my other biting tooth, and it not hurting as much, but still it impacting, and I don't want it to be more severe, so I decided to get it removed, and it cost me even the cheapest place I get is $500 for one tooth removed. So yes, it's very expensive. If you can, just get the checkup, and if needed, or if you your dentist approve it, just get your wisdom tooth removed as much as you can while we're still in your country, and also especially when you have your family and friend around to take care of you while you have after you have your treatment. Related to costly treatment, I have to mention glasses, and this is truly very expensive when it comes to getting prescription glasses. And I would absolutely recommend you, if you could and if it's affordable and where you're from, just get your prescription there, and choose the style that you like. Get around 1 or 2 pair just in case of accident, because prescription glasses here are crazily expensive, and the quality, I'm not saying is way too top-notch quality, but still it's quite expensive compared to the similar quality in my country that I can get. But when it comes to prescriptive glasses, I would recommend you to get the one that have transitional, which means when it come out to the sun, it shade your glass, so you don't really have to get a second pair of sunglasses, and it way easier for your life. So yes, prescriptive glasses. Another treatment that can be quite expensive, however it's optional, is cosmetic procedure treatment. Doesn't include anything major or minor, depend on what you want to do, such as eyelashes extended, doing your eyebrow, get your nose job, anything like that. And if you come from, like I said before, a more affordable country for these options, then definitely do it if you already really consider doing it, because once you move over here, it can be very expensive, and to some procedure it can be even unavailable to do here. So if you're wanting to do it, really need to do the research how it costs in your country compared to going over here. However, when it comes to some kind of procedure that need to be done in the long term or need regular checkup, then I would not recommend you to do so, because it's just meaningless when you do it at your country and then stop coming over here. Such as laser hair removal, which I learned the hard way as well. Before moving over here, I have some treatment done, hair removal, and when I come over here, since it's quite expensive, I just couldn't afford it. So yeah, I just couldn't continue the treatment. So yes, something for you to consider. As a foodie and someone who very enjoy eating yummy food, my next advice to you is to enjoy the food or that you grow up eating or your local food as much as you can before moving abroad or moving here to New Zealand. Because no matter where you go in the world, I believe that the food that you grow up eating is the best food that you can have, that you're always gonna miss. So enjoy it while you can. And when you move abroad, even they have a restaurant in your cuisine, it still cannot get the authenticity that you can get from where you're from. So yes, enjoy as much as you can, and don't go on diet just because you want to have the best looking figure when you come over here. Because I can give my own advice to you is that when you come over here, when have to deal with everything by yourself, living independently, and have to live on a budget as well, you will lose weight even if you are struggling with dieting before. So yes, don't just go on diet just before you move here. Just eat as much as you can, and you will definitely miss it. Related to food, my next advice will be learn how to cook food, and specifically some of your favorite food that you grew up eating with your family, because when you move over here, chances are you have to learn how to cook by yourself. So you might as well have some preparation in advance on some basic skill when it comes to cooking, as well as learn on how to prepare specific dishes that you really love. So when you missing something about your country, you can start cooking some of that to bring back some memory. And with when you learn how to cook, especially with your family, that also the chance for you to spend more time, quality time with your family or with your friend. And it's also my next advice is to having more time with them, because when you move over here alone, you can get a little bit lonely, and you don't when you haven't met a lot of friends yet, you might miss a lot of time with them, and you're not gonna get to go back and forth too much unless you can afford it. So yeah, just spend as much time with them as possible. You will really precious that. Besides learning how to cook, you can also learn some essential skill that you might wanting to learn, and might be useful when you come to get a part-time job here. For example, barista or bartender, and you can quite get a good part-time job here when with some basic experience or skill in advance. So yeah, that will be needed. There's also so many other skills that you might want to learn, so just explore it and see what you can do, and it can come very useful when you come moving over here. And those are my advice on what you can do to prepare yourself when before coming here and before your big trip of moving abroad. So if you find this video interesting and useful, please give it a thumbs up, as well as subscribe to my channel and hit a notification button to follow me and to get the first notification when my next video coming out. So we'll see you guys then. See ya!